In the year 2048, we see an old dark tunnel with very old graffiti painted on it. Rob Johnson, a killer. Take your songs out of your actions. He isn't who he says he is. Get your money back. Only a psychopath does what Rob Johnson does. As we see a deadhead walking past these quotes, we hear the sound of a blade being drawn. As we see a man in the distance with a sword with a skull on the handle wrapped in twine, we see the deadhead gets killed by this person, and the person looks at these quotes on the wall, and as we see a tear rolling down his eye, he then starts to cut through a little bit of the skin that's on the deadhead as he puts its skull in a bag as this person keeps walking. We see him walking through the woods. We hear the sound of someone walking. He sees tracks up ahead as he follows it. We see he's walking through the dark woods ever so quietly as he finds it. It's a deer. He starts approaching it, and they are reaching for a knife quietly. We see the deer turns around as we then see it's reanimated. It then starts running towards him as the man runs as fast as he can, and then after a while of running, he then stops and he looks back out of breath and realizes he lost him. But as he walks through the woods, he sees an old abandoned town. We see he walks through this town and we hear absolutely nothing but silence. As the sun goes down, we then see him sitting in front of the fire with his bag. He opens it up as we see multiple different skulls in his bag. We then hear the sound of rocks being stepped on. We then see the man pulls out his weapon because the deer has caught up to him. But as we see someone sneaks up behind him and knocks him out. We hear someone saying, "Hey, he's waking up." We see a man and a woman standing above him. We see a man and a woman standing above him, and the girl puts a knife attached to a stump to his throat and says, "Not a good idea. We found skulls in your pack, and we know you've been through the area. Tell me your name, or we'll have another skull to add to your collection. You hear me? You hear me?" The man doesn't say anything, and the woman looks back at the man and says, Not so much of a talker, this one." The man says, "Here, I got this." The man takes a knife and stabs him once as the man screams out in pain, and then he starts laughing about it. And the man says, "Yeah, that hurt, huh? You see me and this woman? We aren't looking to play nice, in case you haven't noticed. So unless you want to be taken back by the West family, I suggest you take off that mask of yours and start talking."